Hello, I'm Oscar Sharp. I am here in my capacity as a filmmaker. I'm sort of an oddball in general, but I'm a filmmaker, and I was asked to come here because I made a film that was written by an artificial intelligence.
I am Dr. Graham Lau, also known online as the Cosmobiologist. I'm the host of the NASA-funded show Ask an Astrobiologist, and a huge space geek.
Hi, my name's Polly Goss. I'm originally from London, the UK, and we are now on a road trip across the US, about to move to San Francisco.
My name is Patricia Dellas, and I'm a new media maker, so emerging media and traditional media filmmaking. I live here in New Mexico, but I'm originally from San Francisco, so I've worked with both tech companies and film companies and putting those things together for a long time. So right out of college, I worked with Apple Computer and George Lucas, Lucasfilm, and then we spun off LucasArts. And since then, I've continued to just look for people who like to mash up those kinds of things. And now I'm mostly interested in enhancing and augmenting and immersing people in experiences.
Well, I'm the Director of Communications and Marketing, actually, for a nonprofit called Blue Marble Space. We're focused on sustainability, the future of the Earth system, and how space exploration will change the human species and the longevity of our civilization. So for us, using media to explain what scientists are doing, what artists and poets and writers are doing to better explore what it means to be human and what it means to be part of our biosphere and what the future of our species is, specifically through space exploration, is extremely important. And so there's lots of ways that media can do this, different forms of media. I myself, I do a lot in graphic art and design, but there are a lot of people out there who are using various ways to express ourselves in new forms of media, specifically using digital technologies to really bring our ideas to the forefront and to communicate across the planet with each other. Now that we're approaching nearly 8 billion human beings on this little world of ours, it's the most important time now more than ever for us to better understand how we're all experiencing this world together. And doing that through media is the most important thing right now for a lot of us. And so finding ways that emerging media, that art, can really embrace what we're doing across the planet is extremely important for people like me.
So my understanding of emerging media is it's about new technologies which can be used to create art and educate people. And so I think the piece that really resonates and speaks to me is the possibilities with education through technology like virtual reality. I'm an educator myself, and I'm really excited about how VR can be brought into the classrooms to help inspire the next generation of artists, thinkers, and leaders.
Emerging media. Okay, so if a media is some sort of set of stuff that you can use to express things, that you can use to try and get things out of you and put them in the world so that they end up in other people. An emerging one is one that we didn't have before, I guess. Maybe a set of tools that didn't exist. So I guess when cinema was invented, it was an emerging media. It's probably something like that. We didn't have a means of making these moving images, and then we did. And that was that. And it went through a process of emerging, where at first we were just sort of filming plays and going, oh look, you can get the play and then you can watch it on a flat screen. Isn't that amazing? And then someone realized that if you stop the scene in the middle and you move the camera over here and then you film from over here and then you play back those two things next to each other, then this incredibly weird magic trick happens that works for anyone who's watching, even a child, where they just completely accept that they've jumped from here to over here and that they're watching this thing from a different angle now. And, in fact, different angle. They're watching this thing from a different angle now, and their brain just goes, it's fine! And that turned out to be this sort of utilization of an unconscious thing that we already had, where if I tell you a story about Red Riding Hood walking through the woods, it's perfectly normal to you that you're not there watching her. So it's fine that this camera is magically letting you watch this stuff, even though you're not there and the camera's not there. It's very weird and yet completely worked. So I guess what emerging media must be is ways that we can invent new stuff, new ways of doing this expression-y stuff, moving things from inside of us to not inside of us, which utilize other ways that our brains can be sort of tricked.
So I'm very excited that Santa Fe has new things going on with the new Emerging Media Alliance, Meow Wolf, Currents. I think Currents is hands down the most amazing thing. And last year I was at Oculus Launchpad, and while I was there, when people found out I was from New Mexico, they all asked about Currents. They said, have you ever been to the Currents New Media Festival? So people at Facebook knew about it, and that was pretty amazing. Challenges, I see challenges as a woman. I see challenges in ageism. I have a lot of experience, but I gotta say, no different than the Bay Area. Sometimes it's a little difficult if you're older and you have a lot of experience, which is crazy because if you're a writer and you have a lot of experience, that's better. So I really like to work with everyone. I went back to the Bay Area for 3 years to get VR training. Everyone who trained me was so much younger than me, but wonderful. And now I'm part of an online group, both at Facebook and Oculus, as well as continued training in the Bay Area with lots of millennials that I love, and I love working with.
So I'm not currently a teacher. I used to be in England. I now work for an ed tech startup. So in that way, taking ed tech into higher education. But in the classroom, I have a lot of friends who are teachers who are using things like VR with Google to teach history and take children back to ancient Rome, or go to the base camp of Mount Everest to really get a first-hand perspective of what climate change could mean for some of our world's most beautiful treasures.